Yes. Mr. Stephen Scott, how are you tonight, sir?
Good. How are you? I just got on.
We're awesome. We had a great call tonight, Stephen. We talked to Heisman Trophy winner. We talked to a handful of NFL players. We talked to a doctor about Max, and we just were explaining how to go approach some of these athletes with this product. Now, Steve, you've had so much experience with this, and you've done such a great job with this company and pushing this product to everybody. Where do you see in the athletic world, how do you see Max GXL and Enfuse and these things working for the athletes, both active and retired?
Well, with the active athlete, it's all about recovery time. And we've heard over and over again that the recovery times are cut in half. Not that we haven't done clinical, so we can't make that claim, but what we hear from people all the time is that especially martial artists who sometimes have to fight 3 or 4 matches in a day, we've had them tell us that they have felt just as strong, just as able at the last match as they felt in the first. We recently had a man that is known to many. He used to be the strength and conditioning coach of the Seattle Seahawks. He's now one of the football coaches at Liberty University. And in one day, he broke 4 weightlifting world records. And in the non-drug arena of weightlifting, I don't know his last name. His first name is Bill. And he said that he basically, in this particular competition, your first lift has to break a world record or you're eliminated. And so he went for the world record in his age category in a bench press, which was 720 pounds. He's 50 years old, so he's in the 45 to 50-year-old category. So he did 722, and he told us that normally, if he's lucky, he can do one more lift, but it's always descending, and you get credit for the total amount of weight lifted. And he said, but he felt so good after the 722 that instead of taking some off for a second lift, they put more on. So he broke that record with the lift of 740. Still felt good, so he had him put more on. He has never done 3 lifts at any event. His third lift was 760, or right thereabouts. And he still had room, so he went ahead and did one more for 804 pounds. And he said that as he almost locked in his lift, the right side just tilted a little bit. And he said it's next to impossible to recover from that. But he was able to recover, lock it in. So he broke 4 world records in one day. Now, here's what amazed him besides that. And he, at that time, had been on 4 packs a day for about 4 or 5 weeks. He said that normally after a single heavy lift like that, he is sore for weeks. He said the first day after, he burned so bad that he can't even do any kind of a lift. And to his amazement, he woke up the next morning, said he wasn't sore at all. That week in the Liberty University training room, just for fun, he thought, how much can I lift now? He lifted 834 pounds. So its recovery time is the first thing they see. A lot of athletes have said they have increased endurance, and some have said increased performance. And so it's, I know my son, who just won the national championship in high jump at the Junior Olympics for his age bracket, which is 15, 16-year-olds, jumped higher than he's ever jumped, which was 6 feet 7. And for about 7 or 8 months, he has said, Dad, no matter how hard I work out, now he's been on the product for a long time, but he said, Dad, no matter how hard I work out, I just can't make myself really sore. And his leg workouts used to have him so sore that the day after a leg workout, he would walk bow-legged like he'd been on a horse all day. And now that just doesn't happen. He can make himself mildly sore, but nothing like he used to do. And yet he works harder than ever. So we just see tremendous benefits. On the retired athlete side, as you know, Bruce, any retired athlete has problems with inflammation. And one thing we know is when the thion levels go up, inflammation goes down at a cellular level. And so we've heard from a lot of retired athletes. Norm Evans told me this, two-time Super Bowl winner, Miami Dolphins. Norm just said it's been unbelievable. And he had hip problems and knee problems and back problems, and had just accepted after some surgery, says, well, this is as good as it's going to get. Well, he didn't listen to me because we're too good of friends, and so I sent him stuff and he never used it. And another football player gave him some product, and he thought, well, this guy knows about pain. So he went ahead and went on it from him and called me and apologized and said, Steve, this stuff is just amazing. So, it's all over the board, whether it's helping inflammation issues at a cellular level. It's not an anti-inflammatory at all. It's just all it's doing is boosting glutathione levels in the cell, and then the cell is able to do things that it isn't able to do when it has a depleted glutathione level or a lowered glutathione level. And one of those things is to manage its own inflammation level a little bit better. So, but it's not an anti-inflammatory. That's just seems to be one of the benefits. So those are the ones that I've heard about. I am not an athlete, have no athletic bones in my body. The most I do is play ping pong, and so I can't speak from experience, but I've heard lots and lots of stories.
Yeah, but now you can play 10 games of ping pong instead of just 2.
Well, I won't go that far. I will say I can beat my son the first game, but I can't beat him after that. So.
Thanks so much, Steve. So, folks, you heard it. The longevity for athletes is simply being able to recover. And that's so true in every aspect of sport, no matter what you're playing. If you can recover, you can play again. If you can't recover, you can't play again. And so that life expectancy can be cut short in an athlete's life if he's not recovering, if he's not replenishing what he needs, if those cells aren't going, if those glutathione levels fall to a point where they don't build back up again, they're pretty much done. And that happens with aging.
This is JB Olson here, and I'm asking you, isn't it worth a shot? What if you gave it a try? Didn't work for you? All right, you'd be in the minority. But if it does, imagine what it could do for your training, your officiating, your overall well-being. I don't get excited about anything unless it works. Results. Period. Give it a try.